Welcome, three world. Happy New Year. I hope everybody's off to the most amazing start to 2024. And I just want to welcome you to the Global 3 Tuesday training, no matter where you are around the world, whether you're in Malaysia, whether you're in the United States, Canada, Australia, from around the world. I just want to take this next 20, 30 minutes and talk about a few things today, but mostly about how three can put you in a position to win so you can go out and have the greatest year you've ever had. Really, network marketing 24 years ago, I got started. I came to a meeting that I didn't want to go to. I listened to somebody that I didn't want to listen to. And because I was willingness to have an open mind, and I listened to the speaker, and he said, if you want what I got, you got to learn what I learned, go do what I did, and you'll get what I got. And I had no idea, but I knew that guy was written up in a magazine. And I went home and I read that book that he was written in. And I want to encourage you, if you're looking for more, you want to have more, you want to do more, you want to be more, you want to go out and make 2024 your best year ever. I'm going to give you some tips about going through the numbers. That's what it's all about. But maybe before we get started, I just want to let everybody know that we've got the most incredible leadership team that I've ever been a part of in 24 years. I've been in this industry, been fortunate and blessed to be everywhere in North America. I have a spoon for my mom everywhere in Canada, every province, every state. I've worked internationally, and I'll tell you, it was because of network marketing that went out and give me the opportunity to live my dream, to live in my dream center, to go out and do things that at one time I thought were impossible, that I didn't believe in them. They were the farthest thing from my mind, but through self-discipline and through going through the numbers, someday you wake up and you say, holy cow, here's things that I couldn't believe were possible. So I'm going to go through some things. I want to let everybody know that we're doing a blitz right now. We do Monday presentations globally around the world with top leaders that everybody can tag into. Training Tuesday, always have somebody that's here to give you some, something that can take your business to the next level. Something today you're going to hear that it might just be able to be the one thing. If this helps one person or two people or three people today, it was worth getting on here today. You guys, I'm going to give you some nuggets. I'm going to give you a lot of nuggets. And like it says in an amazing book I always have on my desk, that Think and Grow Rich. It's right here. It says in this book, there's secrets, but you must look for them. And when you find these secrets, they can change everything in your life. And so today I'm going to give you some of those nuggets. You see, this amazing leadership team that's been brought together to launch 14 countries global around the world is absolutely really just in their first year, and not even in a first hard launch, but we soft launched this about a year ago. And you guys, it's been nothing less than incredible. Before we get it started, I believe, and this is an Anthony Robbins that you can Google him, called Priming, and it talks about being grateful. And I don't care how bad things are. If we look back in our lives and we sit there, there's three things. Write down three things that you're grateful for. And like I said on an earlier training today, one of the most incredible things I was grateful for is in this business, when I went to a top position in another company, my mom sitting there, and then I was given this recognition on stage, and I was able to take the roses down and give them to her as she was crying. And this was before she passed. You guys, to see your loved ones, to be motivated to go out and to do something that inspires you to do something more, for the loved ones around you. I believe that network marketing gives an opportunity like Kim, like Gilbert Anderson, like people that are on this call, average and ordinary people, an opportunity to do something absolutely incredible. My great late mentor Bob Proctor said, network marketing is the greatest moral compensation plan or opportunity ever invented on planet Earth, because it pays the ones that does the work. Yes, you can absolutely go out and have it and do anything you put your mind to it if you're willing to go through the numbers. So I really believe that the books you read, the tapes you listen to, and the people you hang out with will determine where you end up in life. We just got back off of an amazing cruise. I think we had 500 people around the world that qualified. I mean, and one of the people that qualified for the trip, Dr. Verna Mackey's son that was on the trip, he had this book called The Game of Numbers. And you guys, when I see a book, and I believe it's the time, I grabbed that book from him, and I was looking at it while I was on the cruise, and then I got home and I ordered it. And I'm going to talk about the game of numbers. And I truly believe, and he writes that about 50 times in the book. He says, you cannot lose if you continue to prospect, if you continue to go through the numbers, if you continue to get better. When you hang out with people like Kim Wee, who has built a global distribution channel, the leadership team that my sponsor, Greg and Lori Ferrara, Amy Dunlop, the leadership team, and I can go on and on and on, that has come together to build this global movement. You guys, everything is in place for you to win. Let's talk about the amazing trips that you can win right now. We've got a promotion right now that you can go out and for people in North America, you can win a all expense trip paid to Tulum. Internationally and in the other countries in Asia and around the world, you can win an all expense trip to Fiji. And what about this? How many people would like to win a free trip to go on a private yacht? You guys, to be on one of the most prestige trips that only people dream of having. You see, only in network. I can't tell you. I remember listening to Holly and Corbin talk, and through the years, and working with them, the amount of trips that they have been on around the world. You guys, this opportunity. So you got to dream a little bit. You got to be able to set some goals. How would every single person here tonight, if you made a decision in this book, it says the number one reason that people don't make succeed at life or succeed at what they're doing is the inability to make a decision, the procrastination. I want to encourage you today that I'm going to give you an example today that there's not one of you on the call here today that couldn't, between now and the end of June or whenever the qualification, you can't be on that trip. It's a time to start opening up. We're in 2024. Make 2024 the most incredible year that you've ever had. You see, it first comes with a decision. And then, yes, it's great to have goal boards and it's great to set goals. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's the daily activity. 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I started with 3 books. And these books were mindset. And one of the greatest things I've ever learned in network marketing and leadership is I love what Tom Bayou said, and he was interviewing Anthony Robbins, and he said the reason that people haven't succeeded yet, no, write that down, yet, is the only reason is they just haven't got the right mindset yet. So he talked about that book. He talked about the book Grit. You guys, whatever it's going to take some grit. Probably most of you are out there are working for a job and you're working a business part-time. That's 95% of the people. I've been fortunate. I haven't had a job for so many years, but understand that you have a job to pay your bills. My father worked hard his entire life to what? To provide for his family, to go out and do. You see, he was never given an opportunity like three. He was never given an opportunity of multiple sources of income to come into your family so you can have more and you can do more and you can be more. So I want to encourage you. It's great about setting goals, but way more important than that, it's the activity. It's the numbers that you go through that it's the action. So and then the final book is called The Atomic Habits. Those were the three books that I started with a couple of years ago, and I used them as my base. Well, this year I've talked about a new book, and the new book is called The Game of Numbers. And I want to encourage you. I want to see so many people that go through. What do all top producers do? They have the ability to never stop prospecting. I 100% guarantee that if you're coachable, you're teachable. I believe that this amazing platform, this global e-commerce site that the amazing Daniel PQ and the leadership team with Dr. Dan, some of the greatest products in the world, is a platform for years to come, not just to go to a billion, but a multi-billion. So we can have generational wealth created, an ability to travel, ability to go after the things in life, to have better health. I mean, I was talking with a guy in Boston today that for somebody not even in my organization, and he's a runner and these amazing products. I said, if I was a house when I started on these amazing products, I would have been condemned. We're not here to give any medical claims or anything, but here's what I'm going to tell you. If you put amazing products into your body, amazing things will happen. So you guys decide what it is that you want. Pick a goal, and long-term vision is absolutely crucial in anything. You see, when I sat at the back of the room and I listened to that guy, and I started to think, I'm taking you back 24 years, sitting at the back of the room with my arms crossed, figuring out how I can get the person that invited me out of this meeting and back to do what I had worked my entire life to do that didn't work. And you see, I had a brain hemorrhage and I had a boxing accident and I wasn't able to go to work for 18 months. And you see, that was probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me, because I had an opportunity to realize that unless I had money coming in while I slept, that I would never be free, financially free, freedom to be able to spend more time and to travel and to do the thing. So I want to encourage you, if you're looking for change, if you've got all the money, you got all the time, you got the greatest health habits in the world, then 3 might not be for you. But if not, here's what I want to encourage you over the next few minutes is this. You guys, everybody needs to set a baseline. And it talks about that in the book that I talked about, The Game of Numbers. And everybody, your baseline can be different. And what I want to encourage you, and they talk about it in the third phase of that book. And this is about prospecting. This is about making calls. This is about a number that you're going to be able to do religiously day in and day out, but he uses it compared to running. And you see, I could relate to that because 5.5 years ago or 4.5 years ago, I decided that I was going to start to run. And I started walking on a treadmill for 8 months at 3.5 miles an hour for an hour. So it says that you can be on the couch, and if you could get off the couch and you could get on a treadmill, or you could go out and you could go a quarter of a mile in 4 minutes, and you would be able to every 2 weeks add 10% to that. Over the next year, you'd be able to qualify, or you'd be able to to train to run a marathon. I have no desire to run a marathon. You see, I took those exact things that I learned from that book and I applied it to my running. Now, I didn't start at my peak. I started at baseline, and now it's 28 days in, and I've increased it 10% to 2 different times. So let's take it back to going through the numbers. I mean, if any of you have ever had an opportunity to listen to Kim go through the numbers, and I wish I had them here. I know that I've been going through the numbers for 24 years. I want to encourage each and every single person. It doesn't matter where you are today. It's where are you going to be 3 months from now? Where are you going to be 6 months from now? How many people, just ask yourself, would love to win an all-expense trip to Tulum? Or how many people would like to win an a trip to Fiji? Better yet, how would you like to go 6-star and go to on a cruise with all of the top money earners in this company? Here's what I will tell you. You can do it. But here's what it's going to be. You got to decide. You see, your activity has got to be incongruent with your goals. Your activity's got to be incongruent with your dreams. Here we are. It's January 16th. And every year for many years, I used to bring on my real estate mentor to start the year on goal setting and how to get started. And you guys were 16 days into 2024. So I want everybody to just sit back and do a checkup from the neck up. Here's what he said. Most people, probably 90% of the people that are out there, here's what happens when we set goals or New Year's resolutions, or this is what I'm going to do. You see, diets, they really don't work. New Year's resolutions really don't work. I'm going to tell you what over the last 25 years, what I have seen that works every single time. And so when we used to do these goal setting seminars at the beginning of the year, Floyd Wickman, if you want to Google him, the #1 real estate trainer in his time from Detroit, Michigan. Here's what he would say. He said people set a goal, and then maybe they don't get started right off the bat, and maybe week 2 comes along, and maybe you get sick, and that what's happened 2 years ago when we were all down in a trip in Mexico, and we came back, and it really took me the month of January to get going, but you know, things get in your road, and then pretty soon something happens with your family, and you're into week 3, and then into week 4, and pretty soon you're into February, and then you say, oh, to heck with 2024. I'll get it in 2024, and then 1 year goes by, and 3 years go by, and 5 years goes by. No. Here is what it is. It's 2024. Make the decision today that it's going to be your greatest year you've ever had. And then here's what I want to encourage you to do. I want to encourage you to make a commitment, a daily routine, just like the running, just like your fitness goals, just like your business goals. Make a commitment, not to me, not to your wife, not to your husband, but to make a commitment to you that you're going to make so many calls a day. And you guys, it's the persistency and consistency over a long period of time that will absolutely help every single person. Kim went through the numbers, and you guys, it was about 80 people. And out of those 80 people, there was a group of people. And you guys, she's built downlines of millions of people. You guys, if you're willing to go through the numbers, if you're willing to come on the trainings, you're willing to learn new skills, you're learning. You see, I love what Mark Ewell always used to say. He said, don't quit. And matter of fact, you see, I wrote on here, if you can see on my training sheet, it says, don't quit. And if you cross out the 2 letters in each one, it says, you got to do it. And what Mark Ewell always said, and I'm going to tell you, he's one of the greatest trainers that I've ever listened to. The guy has got more wisdom. He's built 2 downlines of over $1 million each. When I sat with him in his front row in his basement in his basketball court, I sat there with a pen and paper. Do you know that the greatest commodity in life is a pen, a piece of paper, and a notebook, and your mind? The ability to put to writing your goals and your dreams. You see, you beat 90% of the people by putting pen to paper, by writing down your goals. Now, there's that 10%, that elite group. Now, how do you want to become a 1%er? You hang around them. Then you take that 10% and you start writing down game plans. You start writing down daily activities. You start tying into these programs and these systems that these amazing leaders have done. And here's what Mark says. He says, you're not going to quit. Don't quit. You got to do it. You're going to get better. Give yourself the time. Set a goal to get to Tulum. And I will tell you, if you play the game of numbers, and if you're coachable and you're teachable and you have the burning desire to have more and to be more, there's nothing you can't accomplish in life. You know, I believe that I've been so fortunate in my life because, you know, I've had great mentors, I've had great coaches, but I've seeked them out. I've went after them. And here's what I will tell you. The greatest thing about network marketing is you've got a system. You've got a leadership team around the world that is here. That you know, they're not like Mark said, we're not here to babysit. You know, babysitters make $5 an hour. Well, babysitters make a lot more than $5 an hour. But we're here to help. We're here to motivate. We're here to coach. We're here to share our tips and our tricks. You guys, I will tell you, this business has been so incredible to me, but the greatest satisfaction is to be able to see the new person that joins this business, that's on here today, that can sit back and say, man, what would it be like to have a life and a business to go out and to be able to be a full-time network marketer, if that's what you choose. You see, be precise, be clear in what your goals are. And then you've got to make a list. And that list is, you know, make a list of 250 people. Like, put the pen to paper. And then you got to pick that 1,000-pound telephone up. You guys, after my brain hemorrhage and I moved to Red Deer, I didn't know a soul. You guys, I made 20 calls a day. I hadn't had an income for you know, like 18 months. Broke was not zero. I was so far past zero. But you see, by making those calls every day, by going and doing it on a daily basis, having the right coach and the right mentor and the right systems in place that you have here with 3, I was able to sell 102 houses. Not by the goals that I written down, but by the daily activity. I want to encourage you that when you start today, I want to encourage you to pick a number, whether it's 2 or whether it's 3 or whether it's 5. And I want to encourage you for the next 2 weeks. I want you to go decide that if you want to go to Tulum, I want you to go get a picture of it. I want you to get it on your phone. I want you to put it in writing. I want you to know when we're going. I want you to get deep inside. And then I want you to get on that list. And then tomorrow we've got Wellness Wednesday. We've got 3 blitzes coming. Tomorrow, I want to encourage each and every one of you to start your baseline. And you guys start where you know that you can commit. And here's what happens over the next 2 weeks. If you make those calls every single day, I want you to just be so proud of yourself. And if you happen to fail, or if you happen to not do them, then you got to ask yourself this: was it too many calls? Was it too hard? And then dummy it down a little bit. Maybe some of you are going to, you know, go right after 20 or 30 calls a day. But I want to encourage you, whatever number it is, I want you to commit. And then after 2, and if you happen not to make those calls, I want you to go back and I want you to examine what stopped you from making those calls. Was it, a personal problem? Was it something that happened in your business? Was it maybe you just got lazy that day and decided that it wasn't worth it? And then here's what I'm going to tell you. Just like the goals, you guys, it's 2024. It's the 16th day. Maybe you haven't done your daily requirements yet today. You can change the direction of your life today by changing the direction of your canoe and turn it around and start making the daily requirements. And after 2 weeks, you'll have no idea what it'll do for your self-confidence. You'll have no idea what it will do for your self-esteem. And after 2 weeks, and then raise it 10%, and then do it for another 2 weeks. Now you've got 14, 28 days, and you guys, and then do it for another 2 weeks. And here's what I want to encourage as we bring this in for a landing. It doesn't matter where you are. When you're running your race and people are passing you and you see all these people having this great success, have that shining star, the shining star that you're running your race. It's none of your business that somebody that just went running by you, he might be running a half a mile run. You see, it's not about your personal goals that you're going to hit today or next week or next month. It's that shining star that you get to run your race, whether it's 3 calls a day, and you continue to do it. And as long as you continue to prospect, as long as you continue to run, as long as you continue to lift, as long as you continue to do the daily habits, I guarantee that you can change any circumstances in your life. So I want to encourage you to join the crusade. Join the crusade that we're doing with 3. And over the next few years, to go out and live a life that you only dream, that only other people can do it. And just like my goal card says, you guys, and I believe in goal cards, it says this. It says hope is to wish for things not yet seen. And it says faith is the ability to see the invisible, to create something impossible that the masses think are impossible. Now, let me repeat that. Faith is the ability to see the invisible, to create something incredible that the masses think is impossible. You see, if you continue to make those calls, you see, you're going to be able to do things that are not possible in your subconscious or your conscious thinking today. But over time, being persistent and consistent, the greatest thing, he wrote an entire chapter on persistent here. The greatest quality, it is what carbon is to steel, what persistence is to success. What going through the numbers is what this opportunity has given ordinary people like ourselves that are on this call an opportunity to go live a life of whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. So for my wish for year 2024 is go be the best you can be. Go be have the greatest year, but make a commitment. Get off this call, go look in the mirror and say, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Make that commitment to you, and you'll see what starts to happen in 2 weeks, in 8 weeks, and every 14 days increase. And you guys see how long you can go. And you'll be surprised over a period of 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 18 weeks, how close you'll be to that trip, a trip of a lifetime. And with that, you guys, I just want to encourage you to reach out. And this is about helping others. There's nothing greater in life to have an opportunity. The greatest thing about network marketing is you will not succeed unless you have the ability to help others. Here's what you first got to do. You got to put your harness on yourself when you get on a plane. You've got to be able to look after the things. And what I want to encourage you, when you start having success, reach down and help somebody out. You guys, that's the greatest gift in life, is to give hope to people. The greatest commodity on planet Earth is hope. You can live without water for how many days, how many you can live without food for how many days, but you know what? You'll never survive without hope. So my hope for you is to have the greatest 2024, turn your ship around, restart if you haven't got off to a great start. Don't let the past determine your future. Don't let what happened yesterday. Yesterday's gone. Today's the day, January 16th, the day you made that decision. Have a great day, everybody. And get on Wellness Wednesday tomorrow, and then get ready for these amazing huddles that we're having for the next week. You guys, there's some amazing things to tag into. With that, have a great day, everyone.